Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today what I have for you guys is a brand new Star Wars video. We're tackling the new Star Wars TV show, The Book of Boba Fett. So the first episode came out on the 29th. I just watched it with my dad, who's really into Star Wars as well, and my mom. We all watched it, and it was really freaking fun. So you're going to be seeing some Battlefront 2 gameplay in the background. Make sure to enjoy that. But yeah, so this is going to be kind of a spoiler review because, you know, it's kind of hard to review 30 minutes or, even 50 minutes or whatever. It's hard to review an episode when, there's so much to talk about. So, if you have not seen The Book of Boba Fett Episode 1, Stranger in a Strange Land, please go and, leave, go watch the episode if you have Disney Plus or whatever the heck you're going to do to watch this, and then come back. So, this is actually Robert Rodriguez directing, who I believe directed one or two of the episodes in The Mandalorian Season 2. And this is, it follows the same vein as where the Mandalorian Season 2 left off, where Boba literally shoots and kills Bib Fortuna, who's looking a little chunky, and is ruling, and, Jabba's side, or not Jabba's side, but Jabba's chair with Fennec Shand, who's, of course, in The Mandalorian, and, of course, the Bad Batch. But this, it's kind of hard to review, because it's got the same CGI, it looks great. It's got the same practical effects, the makeup and the aliens and whatever, that looks great. Maybe one or two shots could be a little bit weird, it's like, ooh, this is kind of weird, especially with that big, like, freaking monster thing that comes out of the sand. It looks a little bit slimy. The texture just looks, I'm nitpicking. CGI for the most part, especially compared to the prequels and the originals, I'm gonna take it. Sequels, ever since we got The Force Awakens, everything live action up to, from that has been basically flawless, CGI-wise, and this episode is no different. I think that the, locale of Tatooine is really cool. Mos Espa, very cool stuff. Acting good, nothing bad here. Star Wars very much is a thing where some of the acting can be a little bit weird, especially in the prequels, sometimes in the originals. I don't have any problems, look, I love the prequels, I love the originals. All Star Wars is good, but, I like to say objectively, some of the acting is a bit weird in the prequels. So, with that as a basis, that is kind of like a standoff point. The acting in this show is, of course, fantastic. Anything really under Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm Star Wars that's under Disney is going to be pretty good. At least so far. Maybe it's going to be trashed down the line. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of interesting stuff where you kind of actually see how Boba Fett escapes the Sarlacc pit, kind of, stabbing it and getting like some freaking thing for it to breathe, and then shooting his flamethrower out of it. It was really cool, because ever since I watched The Empire Strikes Back when I was like 12, whatever, 11, 12, I was like, man, how the heck, he's freaking dead. Like, what the heck, man? That sucks, And, I find it really funny that if Captain Phasma, she died in Last Jedi, everyone's like, oh my god, Phasma didn't have enough screen time. Ugh. But there's comics and there's novels, and there's probably going to be a sequel show about her down the line. The Book of Captain Phasma. Let's do it. I want to see it. And then of course Boba Fett bites the dust. No one gives a crap because the originals are on a pedestal. But still, that's beside the point. Some of these fans are effing weird. But again, I think all Star Wars is good. So me seeing another original trilogy style show with Boba Fett, how can I explaining how he came out of the Sarlacc pit and the steps to. From what I can understand, when you title something The Book of Blank or The Book of Boba Fett, I'm imagining this episode, as you guys know, it kind of starts off with him literally escaping the mouth or whatever of the Sarlacc pit to then getting, rescued by the Tuskens and getting attacked and beaten up and all that, kind of getting the Tuskens, like the whole water thing, just trying to get water in the desert, and then it just kind of goes from there with him teaming up with Fennec Shand and trying to, kind of literally bookend this journey. So I'm imagining by the end of Season 1, if there's going to be more, I'm assuming, but, in the very end of the Book of Boba Fett, it's probably going to bookend this season, you know what I mean? He's starting off small, he's going to end off like a crime lord in Tatooine. We don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Again, he's not mentioned in the sequels, so maybe he dies, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to make that call, but we'll have to see. As far as negatives, I would have to say that my only true negatives would would be kind of suffering the Mandalorian effect, where the Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 is fantastic. In my opinion, a little overrated, but still freaking perfect. I really do love it. But it's half perfect, because my one issue with Mandalorian is that it's not boring, but compared to the Clone Wars and Rebels and Resistance and the Bad Batch, it is a little bit slow burning, the Mandalorian. And I guess that's the point. It's a space western. I understand what they're doing. And this season of Book of Boba Fett, or episode of Boba Fett, really kind of has that same feel. There's a few scenes where he's digging, with this roadie in the desert, and he's just digging for water, you know, and they have this weird music, like, it's like this weird circus music, and I don't know whether to laugh, like, is this played for laughs, or is this like a torture thing by the Tusken? I don't effing know, you know what I mean? It makes no sense. So some of it can be a little bit too, you know, drawn out, especially with the music. My one issue would be the music. The music's freaking awesome, don't get me wrong, but there's certain moments where he's digging in the sand, there's something's happening, and it's just kind of weird music, you know what I mean? It's kind of awkward to listen to, because you're hearing like, and you're like, again, you're like, is this a joke? You know, like, is this funny? I don't understand. Apparently, you know, most people, okay, well, let me just say, fans in quotation marks, you know, they'll be like, sequels suck, Mandalorian is the best thing since Jesus' redemption, or Jesus' salvation. I disagree. I think The Mandalorian is my least favorite Star Wars show. That's not saying I hate it. I love it just as much as the others. But I think Resistance, Bad Batch, Rebels, and Clone Wars is just better, in my opinion. I still love Mando. Like, I have it on Blu-ray. I watch Mandalorian all the time. It's a great show. But, again, my only issue with the show is that some of it can be a little bit slow burning. I don't want to say it's boring, because it isn't. But this has the same kind of effect, you know. Certain scenes kind of take a little too long. There is a really sick action scene, and they are definitely pushing a PG-13 or 14-plus boundary where Fennec Shand just literally slices a dude's neck and you see a little bit of blood. I mean, that's a big thing, you know, because I'm full of hot takes, but apparently one of my hot takes is that Star Wars is not for kids. I stand by that. I say 13, 12 up. I know 12 is a kid, but whatever. 13 basically up. I say Star Wars is for teenagers and adults, not children. Because in the world of franchises, teenager and children, it's different. Real life, I guess that's subjective, but again, in my opinion, not for kids. So I'm glad that they're, you know, doing that, because people, like when Robert Rodriguez was like, oh, this show's going to be a little bit more gritty than Mandalorian, people were like, oh my god, no, I can't show my kids. It's like, none of it was for kids. Like you do realize if the original trilogy was re-rated, it would be PG-13. It would not stay a PG. There's blood, people are getting beaten, punched, and tortured, and limbs are flying off, and there's cursing a little bit. It's definitely not a kids franchise, in my opinion. So I'm glad that they are. Again, you know, I don't want to say ultra violence. I'm not some kind of violent, more, you know, creeper psycho, but it is, you know, nice to see that they're taking a little bit more liberties with that kind of element. The action scene is really nice. Boba Fett is cool, as, you know, badass as ever. There's a few scenes where his, you know, it's a little bit corny, where like he kills that beast and like they're playing the swell of music and he's like supposed to be like the coolest guy in the galaxy, and it's just some bald like middle-aged dude in like white clothing. It's like, okay, yeah, it is cool because he just killed that big dragon, and I do understand that they're trying to say, you know, he's a bounty hunter. He's badass, I understand. But the whole thing where he's like, Jobo ruled with bleh, I wish to rule with, you know, it's just like that whole line about like ruling with respect instead of fear or whatever. It kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because like if they're playing into the fact that Boba Fett is a, you know, respecting person, why is he trying to murder everyone in the originals? Why is he a bounty hunter if he's respectful? You know what I mean? So it's kind of strange. Hopefully they leave into it. Again, he is technically a bad guy. He's a bounty hunter. He kills people for credits. He's not a good person. Alright, let's just put it out there. He's not. He tried to kill Mace Windu in the Clone Wars. He's not cool. Well, good. He is cool. He's not good. So to see him kind of not murder people and be like, to the Gamorreans, and be like, yeah, you know, you're cool. It worked for me. Like, the Boba Fett I know would have shot. Again, I'm not trying to say he's poorly written. You know, Luke in The Last Jedi's, you know, I'm not trying to be that crowd, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it is a little bit strange that he is, you know, so-called tough dude, and he's so remorseful. So I don't know if they're going to play into that. I'm assuming they will. So far, I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to Episode 2 and beyond. Again, I cannot grade a show based on the first episode that's only 39 minutes or whatever. So, I like the CGI, I like the practical effects, I like the acting, I like the action. My only negative would be some of the music's a bit weird, and some of the scenes drag out a little too long, especially him in the desert digging for water. It really didn't have a purpose other than for that Rodian to dig up a big freaking monster. You know, I would cut out one or two shots of him digging, you know what I mean, just for the editor, you know what I mean, you're not going to see this, just in case you do. Anyway, I'm going to give the episode probably from a 0 to a 10. I'm going to give the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett a 9. Again, very small negatives, but, you know, I don't want to come out here and say it's perfect or it's horrible. You know, I want to give my honest opinion, and that's my honest opinion. So, again, without spoiling, because, again, some people Go to the comments without watching the video. You know how people are, because you're people. Tell me in the comments without spoiling it what you think about the Book of Boba Fett Episode 1. Again, I really enjoyed it. I think that we're in for a good ride. I love the prequels, I love the originals, I love the sequels, and it's really good we're getting more original trilogy content. However, I do have to say, we do need more sequel content. I know we have Resistance, and I know we're getting some more stuff, but we need more sequel content. From a massive, the sequel trilogy is by far my favorite trilogy set of films in film ever, period. So I think we do need more sequel content, but I'll take prequel stuff, I'll take original stuff any day of the week still. I love all Star Wars, and I cannot wait to see where this goes. Again, a few negatives here or there, but hope you guys enjoyed the Battlefront 2 gameplay in the background. And again, I think this was a really good episode, and I think it'll only get better from here. It was kind of cool to see the director say, everything in trailers is from the first episode, and from what I'm saying, from what I've saw, from what I've seen, it basically is. I think that's true. I think that this is really gonna. I don't want this to turn into Mandalorian, and it's like, who's the next cameo? Just think about it. A lot of people with Mandalorian are like, if Luke's not in it, this sucks. We gotta see Grogu, we gotta see Luke, we gotta see Ahsoka, gotta see blank. So if they're not gonna just cameo bombard us, which I don't want. I like cameos, but I like to see gratification that isn't just, there's Luke, or here's Anakin again, or here's whatever. So hopefully we'll get some actual good stuff, but again, I think Robert Rodriguez is a pretty good director. I don't know him anything other than Mando in this, but I do think that from what I've seen, he's competent, so I have faith in the rest of the show. Again, tell me in the comments what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Can't wait to cover the rest of the show. I'm assuming it comes out every Wednesday, but let me know. I'm probably going to post this on the 30th. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.